Protesters are accusing Rockstar Games and parent company Take-Two of union busting after firing between 30 and 40 employees late last week. Welcome to Inside Games Daily, the only gaming news show brave enough to assume the giant corporation probably in the wrong here.
Yeah, probably. I have a talent for both sidesing anything, so I'll try my hardest, but we'll cover the news first. Bloomberg's Jason Schreier broke news of the firings last week, reporting that the studio had terminated between 30 and 40 employees across its UK and Canadian offices. But it's not that simple. There's a little intrigue to this story.
It's never that simple, Lawrence. A spokesperson for the Independent Workers Union of Great Britain provided more details. All the fired workers were members of a private trade union chat group on Discord and were either already union members or were exploring labor organization at Rockstar Games.
What a coincidence. Wow. Can you believe it? The odds, Bruce. Crazy stuff. Spokesperson Alex Marshall connected the dots pretty plainly in a statement saying, quote, Rockstar has just carried out one of the most blatant and ruthless acts of union busting in the history of the games industry. This flagrant contempt for the law and for the lives of workers who bring in their billions is an insult to their fans and the global industry.
If true, very well said. Take-Two's response at the time was much more succinct, saying that the employees were fired for, quote, gross misconduct and for no other reason.
But yesterday they did kind of provide a reason, and it's a little sketchy. We'll cover all that in just a moment. Inside Games is for your health. That's right. If you or someone you know spends a lot of time at a desk for work or play or both, it's time you invest in your health. We're partnering with FlexiSpot to offer a special discount in addition to their existing Black Friday and Cyber Day sales on their E7 Pro standing desk and C7 Max desk chair. So let's start with the E7 Pro standing desk. Whether you're gaming, coding, crafting, or exercising, this desk can handle any workspace. An astounding 440-pound static capacity and 50.6-inch max height can handle even the most hardcore of setups. I slid it right over my walking treadmill that I already had in my garage, and that means now that I can write these soon-to-be award-winning Inside Game scripts while burning calories. And when I wrap up those scripts, you better believe it's game time. The E7 Pro combines heavy-duty capacity with the grace of a ballet dancer. Raising and lowering the table barely wobbles a glass of water, not to mention other activities on the table like typing or crafting. So everything you put on it's going to stay nice and stable. This table is stable, powerful, and it has a wide variety of frame and desktop colors. That means the E7 Pro Standing Desk can unlock the possibilities of your work or game space. Just go to flexispot.com and use our code YTE730 for $30 off. And make sure to check out the E7 if you're on a limited budget. But what happens after you've saved all that money and burned hundreds of calories walking and gaming? Well, reclining comfort and style in FlexiSpot's C7 Max chair. This is the most adjustable chair I've ever used right here. You can fine-tune the headrest, you can fine-tune the backrest, the seat depth. It's also got 5D arm rests. 5D! All this means that this chair will nestle the curves of your body no matter what those curves might be. The built-in lumbar support and supportive seat cushion will cradle you in well-constructed comfort. The C7 Max chair even supports seating of all orientations, if you know what I'm saying. A deep recline function and a slide-out footrest mean you can practically fall asleep or sit however is most comfortable for you. If you want to shrimp up in this chair, go for it. FlexiSpot offers a 30-day return policy and 10-year warranty on the C7 Max chair, so you have nothing to lose. Go to flexispot.com/deals to see all of their Black Friday and Cyber Day deals. And make sure to use code C730 to get $30 off the C7 Max chair. They offer other options here too, like the C5 chair for budget-conscious shoppers, or the C7 Morpher with upgraded lumbar support and an upper backrest. Use code YTE730 to get $30 off the E7 Pro Standing Desk, and code C730 to get $30 off the C7 Max chair. Thank you very much, FlexiSpot.
Thank you very much for the support. FlexiSpot, both the show and our lumbar, feels great.
Getting back to the story here, Rockstar Games provided a slightly more detailed statement describing why some 40 employees were swiftly terminated last week.
So Rockstar Games claims in a statement that they fired employees for, quote, distributing and discussing confidential information in a public forum, a violation of our company policies.
They also went on to specify that, quote, this was in no way related to people's right to join a union or engage in union activities.
We are vigilant news hounds here. Very much so. And our first reaction to this... Wait a minute, hold on. There were GTA leaks? We missed them?
Yeah, we were supposed to... How could we not? If if 40 people are going to get fired, we might as well get some new screenshots out of it, right? No, it's not really like that. Jason Schreier detailed in a Blue Sky post that the confidential information that was supposedly discussed was more business-oriented about the Rockstar Games business, not necessarily media leaks about Grand Theft Auto 6.
And now, as recently as 5 hours before the time of writing, protesters have gathered at Rockstar North in Edinburgh and Take-Two's London office as well.
Yeah, one protester read an anonymous statement from one of the fired employees. The statement reads, quote, "I was dismissed without warning, without evidence, and without a chance to speak for myself, all because I talked with colleagues in a private union chat. We weren't leaking anything or trying to harm the company. We were supporting each other, trying to understand our workplace and make it better. To lose my job for that feels deeply unfair. No one should be punished for being part of a union or for speaking honestly about their work."
That is very true. Protesters also chanted, "Rockstar, Rockstar, you're disgusting. We charge you with union busting."
Got a nice rhythm to it. I like it. It's repeatable. Man, this is gnarly. And when we have such limited information, but the thing is, I can see both sides being true, which doesn't mean both sides are right. I want to be very clear about that. I feel like if you're talking about organizing labor, that necessarily means you're going to be talking about what might be considered confidential information. Compensation packages, pay rates, time off, RTO policies, health insurance. All these things a company might consider confidential, but they do that so they can suppress the spread of that information. So it's kind of like, I feel like they're both saying the same things. The employees were saying, hey, we were just talking about our work. The company's like, no, we made that information confidential because we don't want people talking about it. So, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't sound great for Rockstar Games, though. If your company's so great, why can't people talk about that? I guess it really depends on the level of confidential information they were sharing, and we're not really privy to that.
Yeah, this is there's a lot of things at stake here, and also there are a lot of really interesting things that we don't have details on. And the reason I say that is because I've kind of been on the not the union part of this in terms of like a company sort of going after you, but I've been on the other side of this where I have sued a very large company and been through this. I've talked about this many times on the show. And we sued because they weren't paying us overtime. They should have been paying us overtime. And the company settled out of court for a class action lawsuit that we brought to them. So they didn't ever bring it to court. And that's kind of what this maybe is going to go towards. I would imagine they're going to settle with these people. Because if they were talking about confidential information, if they signed a contract saying they wouldn't talk about, then there's real problems there. Then honestly, the company's got you, right? You signed that contract and you said you wouldn't talk about it. However, I don't know Great Britain's policies when it comes to unions and union busting, and that could override anything that you signed in a company contract. I really have no idea how that works over in the UK. In America, I have a little better sense, but not in the UK. So, but I would imagine, I bet that union takes precedence over anything that you sign in a contract in Great Britain. That's my guess, but I could be wrong.
I certainly hope that's the case. And yeah, Bruce, I agree. I think this will go to settlement before maybe Rockstar's ability to legally restrain its employees is tested. I don't think any private company wants the courts to potentially rule in favor of an employee group or a union group, saying that yes, employees can openly discuss XYZ about your company, and that's a legally protected right. I think every company would rather cut a check and settle before even giving that a chance to happen in any labor market in the world. So yeah, hopefully these 40 people get a nice payout at the end of being unfairly treated like this. And it's a shame to think, I guess it's the American in us, we just kind of think about the business practicalities of it all. Still sucks though, and having been a part of a company, many companies, maybe every single company I've ever worked for, you can tell that they benefit from keeping every single employee siloed and in the dark. And, you know, to some degree, if you're a real freaking alpha hound, you can use that to your benefit and always be, you know, espousing for yourself and promoting yourself and getting what you feel you're owed in the world. But most people are just ground down by the actual workday. They don't have time to take on the second, third job of marketing themselves, promoting themselves, hustling. which just leads to people making that their job. They spend all day hustling instead of actually doing work, and it actually pays off because people are dumb that way. So anyway, sorry, getting into the chip on my shoulder about all this, but I've been a part of this cycle, and it sucks. And it's frustrating to hear Rockstar Games be like, no, it wasn't because of union busting. We just fired them for talking about something related to being in a union. See, that's fine. Well, it's not, though. It's kind of not.
So that's what worries me about this. And I also want to say, importantly, both Lawrence and I are in support of unions. we support unions, and that's going around the games industry right now. It really is. Like Activision Blizzard forming unions in QA and things like that, which is great. That's very good and very healthy for our industry as it matures and becomes a much larger industry. It's larger than movies and television, all that other stuff. So it's like, we really do need to have labor protected and everybody to get fair wages across the world for the video game industry. So I don't necessarily think this reflects very well on Rockstar. That said, Lawrence, will this affect anybody buying Grand Theft Auto 6?
Yeah, probably not. It's funny because I was thinking about it from both perspectives. Would it affect the development and release of Grand Theft Auto 6? I think Rockstar Games, to get cold and clinical about it and get consumer minded, I think they can probably lose. We have no idea what positions they were in, but they can probably lose 30 employees and not miss their release date. And then, yeah, in terms of like boycotts and things like that, I think people will probably forget about it long before the game actually hits, which is unfortunate. But now's the time to strike. I have to assume that that's why the union's kicking up a lot of dirt about this, because they can get a lot of visibility connected to Rockstar Games in the lead up to Grand Theft Auto 6. So that's pretty smart, and I hope they gain some ground because of it. And yeah, I hope it does grab some people's attention and make them think about, the people who actually make the games and whether or not they're getting an equitable share of all that money flowing around.
Yeah, we say this a lot on the show, but really everybody sort of has their own line to draw. Like, it's like, do you want to support this company that does this? Or this happens every day. And we're constantly supporting billion-dollar, trillion-dollar companies. And do we want to continue supporting them? And this is an interesting thing that I'll be very curious to see kick up in our comments in 9 months when the game comes out, because I don't know if people, because I still see people mentioning the Saudi deal for EA. So I'm curious to see if people will still be mentioning this when it comes to GTA 6, or will everybody have already bought it and enjoying the hell out of the single player campaign on console? I don't know. I'm not sure.
If people want to be mad at Rockstar, they will bring this up. But I don't think this will make people mad at Rockstar. Again, I'm sorry to be so cynical, but that's just the read I've got. So if GTA 6 comes out and it's underwhelming or disappointing, you better believe this is going to be in a bulleted list of every bad thing they've done in the past 5 years that's going to be upvoted on Reddit. But if GTA 6 comes out and it's great, some people might yell about it and everybody else will shrug.
Sadly, Lawrence is absolutely correct. Like 100% correct here. That is going to be a thing. And everyone's going to shrug their shoulders and be, no big deal.
Game good.
Yep.
But yeah, please don't let my cynicism sound like I think that these sorts of fights are not worth fighting. I've seen the gamer circles a little too much to know how they react. But I am all for pursuing this in UK courts, specifically there, because they're a lot more worker friendly than in the United States.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And we do have to remind you over and over and over, yes, Inside Games truly is on your side.
That's right. We've got free games for you. Free games. First off, a Lawrence certified good game. There aren't too many of these. But yes, of course, it's Crime Boss Raikkonen City. It is free to play until November 9th on Xbox Series, PlayStation 5, and Epic Games. I actually misspelled it and it says Pally Station, which actually sounds a little more friendly. Anyway, Amazon Prime has an interesting spread this week. You've got new Tales from the Borderlands, Lovecraft's Untold Stories, Dungeons & Dragons Dark Sun series, and Gas Station Simulator. Did I see you playing this, Bruce? Gas Station Simulator?
It's a great video game. I should also warn you that some of those games are free on Luna, which is a nightmare. You have to claim it and link it and do all this other garbage. They don't give you a code. They're not all good old games. I literally was just claiming these games. And some of them are good old games. Some of them are Luna. So be aware.
These Gas Station, Lovecraft, and Tales from the Borderlands are from Epic, and Dungeons & Dragons is through Good Old Games. Some of them put you through Luna?
So some of these you have to claim them through Epic, and a lot of people don't want to do that. You have to like link your account with Epic and all that other stuff. I think one of those, I think it's a Dungeons & Dragons one, is a code. You can just redeem on good old games. But that's something that I've run into a time or two with these free games.
It happens, yeah. You got to jump through some hoops. Even though it's free, nothing in this world is really free. Speaking of Epic and hoops people don't like jumping through, Epic Games has some free games for you too. There's Felix the Reaper and Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. Finally, this is a little $5 game that is now free. Minimal puzzle game called One Shift is free on Steam. So check the links out in the descriptions to get your free games. And thank you for watching Inside Games. Your choosing to watch this video means we don't have to worry about getting fired for talking about unions, which is a wonderful, wonderful gift. So thank you very much.
Yeah, we'd like to shout out a few especially supportive patrons that support that Inside Games Patreon every single month. Lenny Neves, Scotty Ryan, Tyler King, Nick Calderon, and Tito007. Those are like the MVPs of patrons. We read their names and have for years now, so thank you.
Yes, the gold standard. And yeah, check out our Inside Games Patreon if you like. We post all of our content there for free. We also post ad-free versions of our videos that you can get at a particular tier. And everyone gets free memes. Free memes for everybody. So check it out. Free memes, free content. And thank you again for watching.